everybody! Today I'm going to be attempting to turn these scraps into a fairy costume. The hardest part about working with scraps is making sure that you can cut out all of your pieces, especially the biggest pieces. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough fabric for my biggest piece, which was the center back, so I just patchworked some pieces together. But for my center fronts, this piece right here, I did have enough fabric to cut out both of the panels in the same fabric. Once I had cut out the main bodice fabric, I was able to cut out the lining and then all these extra fun layers of tulle and sheer materials. They're a little bit different on each piece, but I think it came together really neat in the end. As you can see here, I needed to patchwork the straps together. As another way to take as much advantage of the scraps as possible, I cut out any of the little flowers, details, or sparkly bits from the scraps that were too small for the bodice pieces. I was able to iron these pieces out and pin them onto the bodice, and then use a zigzag stitch to applique them onto the individual pieces before assembling the bodice pieces together. I have a hard time not using beautiful pieces of scraps, so this was a wonderful way for me to bring life to them. Something else I did to bring together all of the whimsy and tie in the silver sparkly bits of the appliques was to use silver sparkly thread and make little designs. I also took some regular thread and I was able to use the special stitches on my brother's sewing machine to add some more details as well. In the grand scheme of things, you don't actually see these details from far away, but from up close, I think it just ties everything together and makes the costume that more special. I think it's looking so pretty. And look at it in the sun. Sparkle, sparkle. So the outer bodice is done. The straps have been added. The lining is done and good to go. And I have the peplum ready to go. The nice thing about this is that it actually came from a curtain that I used for my Barbie Rapunzel costume. And it's already in that nice ruffly shape, so I don't even have to do anything. It's even hemmed. Best day ever. For the skirt, I'm just taking a waistband. I'm going to sew some serged panels onto it. And then I'm going to also add on all these little strips of fabric, ribbon, and tulle. And that's going to be it. I'll add a closure and she'll be a princess fairy. Alright, before I sew everything down, I just wanted to give you another peek. I added in some more tulle and just used up the rest of the scraps I had. And I also added more ribbon. I added in this glittery ribbon so that that one didn't look like such an outlier. I added in this. I added in a few more of this. And then I added in these tiny ones, which is cute because they're not very heavy, so they kind of keep their spiral. And I also pointed off some of these because I just felt like they were too pointy. I would do that with this one, but it's actually a double lining, so it will be a real pain to do that now. Okay, y'all, so here's the finished costume. I am wearing shorts underneath, so you're going to see some black peeking through. I know some people would be wearing like lingerie or underwear, but you get to see me in sports shorts. And then there's this little headband from the original dress I made, so I'm wearing that in honor. And I haven't really mentioned it yet, but this dress is made out of a lot of the same scraps that I made this teeny tiny little dress for my sister. So I'm going to show some pictures real quick. I actually made this original costume before I started my YouTube channel. But if you scroll all the way back to 2017 on my Instagram, you will be able to find these pictures. This costume was actually made of scraps as well. Most of the scraps are from the beginning of my sewing journey, which started in about 2010-ish. I also added hand stitching in some places and some little beads to try and give the costume whimsy.